Welcome to Play Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Today we've got a nice little treat for you. What we're going to do is a quick little interview with the co-host from the main phase. Hopefully you've watched some of those videos. If you haven't, pop over there and watch a couple of them. This is Grady.
Hi, everybody.
And I'm Paul. And we do a nice little weekly show called the main phase. So check it out. Yep. But today...
About to record episode 3.
Yeah, we're about to record episode 3 today. But today what I wanted to do was... Grady just made Mythic.
I did. I'm very excited. It's my first time, actually. I've never made Mythic before in Arena.
Congratulations. So
Thank you.
I'm also, I've previously been a Mythic player before. Grady, you went Mythic Historic.
Yes, Historic Constructed.
Historic Constructed. I did Mythic Standard, maybe 1 or 2 seasons ago.
Cool.
So I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions, and I'll let you know my perspective, and you tell me yours. So first of all...
It feels great.
Oh yeah. How did it feel? How did it feel when you got to Mythic? It's like, wow, I did it.
Yeah, for me, it was really great, especially because, well, you know this already, Paul, but I'll tell the story anyway. Like about a week before, because what the ranks are: bronze, silver, gold, diamond, platinum, mythic. Is that right?
I know this story. Yes, this is a good story. You guys are gonna like this.
Bronze, silver, gold, diamond, platinum, mythic, and I was in diamond, and I got to diamond 1.
Platinum, diamond.
Platinum. Okay, I was in platinum. See, I'm still getting it backwards. I was in platinum, and they go 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you get to the next rank. And I was in platinum 1, and I was just a couple wins away. And I was like, I texted you, Paul, and I was like, I'm so close to Mythic. I'm almost there. I can feel it. I just need a couple more wins. And then you just reply to it. I got some bad news, friend. You're about to hit diamond, not Mythic. And that was a little bit deflating. I was like, no, I thought I was so close.
Yeah. And we'll talk about this a little bit more too, though. But once you get through platinum, diamond doesn't feel as daunting.
Maybe. I think so that happened to me, and I thought I was about to hit Mythic, and I realized I had the ranks wrong. And then I made it to platinum, and then in the beginning, at first in platinum, I just started getting crushed like crazy. So I was like, well, I made it to platinum. I'm happy with this. I'm pretty content. I'm just going to be happy in platinum. Diamond. I'll never get it right.
That's fine.
And then after about a week, I don't know if the meta shifted or what, but I started winning, and I kind of just
popping them off,
breezed up through up to Mythic. I got to my the last win I needed for actual Mythic like 3 times and lost, and then had to work back up to it again, but eventually got there.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm stuck in platinum right now. If gold is like you just walk through gold. Gold's no problem. But I'm up to like tier 2 down to tier 4 day after day. I just can't break platinum this time around. So, first question.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
How did you choose your deck?
So I tend to kind of pick a deck and stick with it for a long period of time. Partly because I find a deck that I like, but also partly because I don't spend a lot of money on Arena, so those wild cards are pretty precious.
Oh yeah.
I save up my gold and I use it to draft, and then I farm some wild cards that way. But I don't have a lot of wild cards to spend. So initially, I was doing Historic. I was messing around with a couple different life game builds: mono white, white black, with Lurrus as a companion, with Lurrus in the main deck, but not as the companion.
And then they nerfed him as the companion. He was a lot more effective before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still a great card, but
and the deck building cost for Lurrus in the companion slot in that deck is very real, because you don't get Heliod and you don't get the Ajani Planeswalker, which are both like some of the best cards in the deck. So
it's 2 or less, not 3 or less?
Yeah, it's 2 or less.
Oh.
He himself costs 3, but the companion restriction is 2 or less.
2 or less.
CMC 2 or less on all permanents. You can have spells that are more, but permanents have to be 2 or less. Anyway, I was messing around with a bunch of different builds of that, and just wasn't really, I don't think I ever got out of diamond, actual diamond.
Platinum?
But the lower one's diamond, right?
The lower one's platinum, man. Gold, platinum, diamond, mythic.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's platinum, diamond, mythic.
Yep.
Okay, diamonds. Okay. Anyway, so I finally decided to make a change and decided to invest the few wild cards that I had saved up, because I came across a deck that I really liked the way it played, and it's again with a companion. It's Esper Yorion, still in Historic.
Yeah.
So Yorion's the companion. It's a 5-drop for 3 and then 2 white-blue hybrid. So you can play it in mono white, you can play it in mono blue, or any combination. and it's just a flying 4/5 that when it comes in, bounces any number of your permanents and brings them back at the end of the turn.
So you got things like the Prince and...
Yeah, definitely. So it's so the whole deck is just oh, and the companion restriction is you have to run 80 cards. So I've got an 80 card main deck.
Oh, I didn't think to ask about. I don't run more than 60 cards. You're running an 80 card deck, huh?
Only because of Yorion.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason to do it.
It's interesting.
To get Yorion in the companion slot, you have to have 80 cards in your main deck.
Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of permanents that all have ETB abilities. I've got a lot of Oath of Kaya. It's 1 white-black enchantment that comes in and does a lightning helix effect, 3 damage to anything, and you gain 3 life.
Yeah.
Chupacabra comes in and kills a creature. I
got to cut you short here real quick, though. Sure. We want to do a quick interview. If you want to see the deck tech, we'll post it, right? Yeah. I like that you're getting detailed there. I'm sure that people really want to know the mechanics.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the deck a lot. It's been really cool, and that's the deck that I took to Mythic.
Yeah. Okay. So the way I picked mine, same question. How'd you choose your deck? Is I love aggro. Like, I have a difficult time playing slow mid-range control. I love combos, but they never kick off for me. So I'm aggro through and through. And this red deck just kept ember cleaving me to death. So what I did was I copied to my best of ability the ones that I saw were coming out. You know, Annex, Embercleave, Tobrin, and I put in what I had. I probably had 1 Tobrin, 1 Annex, and the deck was doing garbage. But just like you said, stick to it because I don't spend real money either. So I saw something that was working real hard against me. Tried to copy it. And then actually just did a quick search, like, hey, what's going on out here? What kind of cards do people put in here? And basically, these competitive decks need like 17, 20 Mythic cards in them. You know,
a lot of times,
so
you just want to max out on those.
Yeah, I think I'm running 3, and we'll talk about that. That's another question coming later. But save all of your rares and mythics. Pick a color or a color combination. And that's the only way you can really get that deck construct playing free to play.
Yeah. And I think to your point, I think that's why I love Historic so much, because it's a non-rotating format. So if you're spending your wild cards on standard decks, like that's great and cool. And standard's fun.
Rotate out.
But it's a rotating format, So if you build a deck you really love, there's a chance something could get banned out of it. But unless you're playing like top tier decks, that's not really likely to happen.
Right. So, I'm worried they're going to ban Embercleave.
It's possible. I think
they're probably not
more likely than Embercleave.
Yeah.
Because I think the green-blue decks are really the kind of have a target on their back right now.
They've been getting hit since Oko was like.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, really, like all the Simic-based decks are just bananas.
Yeah. So I think the next question we already answered through our back and forth is how did you build the card base for the deck that you decided to play and save those cards?
It's definitely no accident that the Esper Yorion deck that I built overlaps on 2 colors with the previous decks that I've been experimenting with. It's white, black, blue, and I had been experimenting with mono white and white black decks in Historic already, which means that I had some cards that would carry over. Particularly the lands. And I think this is true on Arena, just like it is true in paper Magic and physical Magic cards. A lot of I play Modern in paper Magic. Yeah. And a lot of the cost of those decks, the physical cost is in the lands.
Yeah. Fabled Passage and the Shocklands.
Yeah. People don't want to spend a lot of money because lands are kind of, unless you're playing, whatever. But it's not creatures, it's not spells. People don't want to spend their wild cards or their money on lands, but they're the backbone of your deck, and they're so important, and they can be used over and over again in these different decks. So if you have the mana base, you can experiment with the rest of it.
That's a huge fallback for me with dual and trip color land color decks. Is I don't spend the rares on the lands because I need the power cards.
Yeah, and you want other stuff.
I don't get my mana base.
Especially for something non-rotating like Historic or Modern. Once you have those lands, it lets you experiment with the rest of it.
Yeah, and I've really been getting into Historic. It's been a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
All right, next question. We got a couple more. We'll jam through here.
All right.
When did you know you had a winner? 1 sentence or less. It's an easy question.
Yeah, just
when I won.
The deck when it was played against me, and it just went off, and I was like, "This is great! I got to experiment with this." And it's the style of deck that I really love, where if I can survive the early game, then it has a really powerful late game, and I enjoy decks like that, where I'm just trying to live, and then I'm trying to win.
Yeah. I hit like a turn 3 or a turn 4. I had my perfect combo, rounded out, just like turn 4, Annex, Embercleave, dead. Like
going to town. Yeah.
And then, so that's when you really know you got a winner, is if you're playing an aggro deck and you're winning on turn 3, turn 4. Love it. And also just when you drop Annex and people give up. I'm sure you've probably put down a couple of cards, even with yours, and people are just like, he's playing that one.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, with you don't want your opponent to be alive on turn 6.
No. I cannot survive after turn 6 against a lot of not even blue whites, like green Stompy. If I get to turn 6, I'm done.
Yeah, because their creatures are just too big at that point.
Yeah. Did you make a lot of edits?
I did. I messed with some things here and there. One thing in particular, I was running Field of the Dead, which got banned. So I did get a card banned on my deck.
Okay.
And so I needed to make some adjustments there. I'm running one Golos.
This was the first ban, right? Field of the Dead got banned and then re-released and then banned again.
No, this was the second time. More recently.
Second, yeah. Okay.
The second time is when I wasn't really playing it when it got banned the first time. So then I had to make some edits, figure out, do I even still want Golos in my deck at all? Because that was the main purpose of having Golos.
Yeah.
And I had to think about, is it worth it really? Shuffle some things around.
Wait, that's not. Is that tutor or fetch?
I would call it fetch because it brings it to the battlefield.
Okay.
I would call it a tutor if it brought it to your hand.
But
it brings it to the battlefield, so I would call it a fetch. And so yeah, there's definitely some things here and there. The Chupacabra was in and out of the deck at different points. Messing with just the numbers. I have a couple of like 1 and 2 ofs in there.
Yeah.
And then you've got your 4 ofs.
Same thing for me. Obviously the edits to get to where I wanted the deck playable, like I'm able to now get another Torbran. He's going in. What do I take out? Like, it's predictable edits. But then I struggled a little bit with like the 1-cost guys. Like some of these red decks that I run in, they're running the Dreadhorde, first strike 1/1 that dies and comes in as another creature. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I didn't like running him. I like running the Scorcher with the direct damage.
Yeah, gets 1 damage in even if it gets blocked.
Yeah, and the reason why is because the 3-cost that lets you exile 2 cards.
Oh yeah, light up the stage.
Light up the stage. Thank you. You know my deck better than me.
Light up the stage is a really strong card in your
being able to get that direct damage through and then cast that without being blocked. So, not too many edits, but that's what you do. You just you run a couple, and don't give up and change it every single time you play, because that's the beauty of Magic.
Part of the nature of mono red, right? All your cards do roughly the same thing. It's a matter of how much damage per amount of mana that I have to put in. So you just want the most efficient red cards.
Small tweaks here and there. Are you running Disinformation Campaign in yours?
I have exactly 1.
Yeah.
And it's definitely on the cusp. It's definitely like if I need to make a cut, something good comes out that I want to slot in, that one's probably on the chopping block.
All right. All right.
Yeah, to be honest, like I said, it's on the chopping block, but it's currently 1 of in my deck.
It's kind of fun, and with that Yorion ability, it makes it much more functional.
Yeah, if I can bounce it and replay it multiple times, that definitely helps.
Yeah, that's good carded.
I don't care about the discard portion. Like, it draws me a card and it makes my opponent discard. And like against you, later on, your hand's empty anyway because you played out all your cards.
Sure.
And there's a lot of like black-red discard decks that are totally fine putting their stuff in the graveyard.
But on like a turn 3 or turn 4, if you make me discard and I've got my choice of Embercleave or Torbran, I'm like,
Yeah, that's when it's really working. That's when it's doing its job. But if I play it on turn 3 and they just put a Croaxa, however you say the name, the Titan that comes back.
Yeah, the discard. Yeah.
They're totally happy putting that in the yard, and I didn't really accomplish anything. So.
Yeah, no, that actually helps them a little.
Yeah.
Okay, last question, and then we'll wrap this up, and we'll get over to our show where we're actually going to play these decks against each other, which is going to be fun. Or it's going to be horrible for me. It might be.
If I'm watching, you know it's going bad for Paul.
Yeah. So last question. Yeah, a mono red against a historic pillow fart. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to that, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Last question: what helped you get through or persist through win drought when you just lose like 5 times in a row and you're like, oh man, I dropped a whole tier?
Yeah, it's if I'm just playing for fun, it never really bothers me, but there are those times when I have a taste of it and I know I'm close and I can get there and I'm really trying to push over the edge, and and sometimes it definitely stings a little bit. And I think, you know, if it's starting to affect your mental state, just get up, go for a walk, take a breath, you know, go get something to drink. It can just be, you know, a minute. You don't have to walk away for 5 hours and come back later. You can just get up and walk to the kitchen and get yourself something to drink.
Yeah, just step away. I'm glad you say that. Don't rage quit, right? Persist through. You're going to win, you're going to lose. Yeah. Hopefully you're winning more than you're losing, but they don't all go in a straight path. But same thing for me, except I maybe took a little bit longer break. So I wouldn't just like walk away for a second, come back. I would say, okay, this is not my night. Thursday, 6 o'clock, they are destroying me. I'm going to come back Saturday at 6 a.m. and see what's on.
Different opponents with the keyboard. Yeah. One last kind of thing that I wanted to mention before we finish up is just I really believe to make Mythic on Magic Arena, you only need 2 things. And one of those things is a win rate of 51% or better. You only have to win 51% of your games. Yep. And the other thing is time. Because if you win 51% of your games, eventually you will hit Mythic.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you know, if you're winning 80% of your games because you're Luis Scott Vargas or somebody, then you're gonna go straight up. But if you're winning 53, 55% of your games, you're gonna get there eventually. It's gonna be, you know, up and down and up and down. But if you have generally positive, you know, match win percentage, you'll get there eventually. It's just a matter of time.
It's good investment technology too if you want to invest in the stock market. 51%, that's all you need. Just keep gaining. Slow and steady.
51% plus time.
Yeah, that's good information. Get out of your head. Don't blame the algorithm or the computer. You know, it's very easy to get into that part. Like, oh man, they just won't give me land today. It's the horrible cosmos.
Just don't become a salty.
Don't get salty.
Or a shuffler truther out there trying to bring those conspiracies. All
right. Well, thank you for letting me interview you, Grady. This was a lot of fun. Had a good conversation here. Again, if you thought this was helpful, like the video, leave a comment. If you want to see more content like this, let us know. You can help us shape the content. Subscribe if you haven't already. This is Play Watch. Now let's pop over to the main phase and have some more fun playing Magic.
Let's do it. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks for watching.